Yeah! Welcome to Don't Call Dees, the show formerly known as the Fan Controlled Show, the official companion show to Fan Controlled Football, the only professional sports league that gives the power to you, the fans. You make all the decisions. I am Jeff, Cannata. And I am joined by some of my favorite people on the planet, Patrick Dees, Josh Macuga, and the commissioner himself, Ray Austin. Welcome, fellas.
Hey, big dog, are you in my old place when we first started these shows?
I think I might be. I think you left some stuff over here, man. Jeff, an old shoe.
Jeff, I was just looking up that John Denver song, Rocky Mountain High, because I thought it went like Colorado, but that's not how it goes at all. That's
Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. Yes, I am my new house, such as it is here in.
How was the move? How
Denver,
we
Colorado.
walk us through? Like, I mean, it's a crazy time to move with the housing market the way it is,
Yeah.
and like I've heard horror stories. Walk us through your 48 hours from getting from California to where your new place.
Well, despite what you may have heard, my experience has been a nonstop nightmare. You may notice there's nothing in this room. I'm sitting on a quickly purchased Target chair.
Okay.
My computer, which was FedExed here in order to be able to stream and do podcasts, is set up on the built-in little like shelf in this room that just was already here because I have no desk.
I'm super impressed. That
thank you.
You made it, yeah.
Seriously.
My computer
Priorities.
monitor was destroyed by FedEx, so I'm on a makeshift computer monitor. I don't have my cool gaming monitor. We just got off the phone with the shipping company that has our actual stuff, which hasn't even left Los Angeles yet. And
come
not
on.
only that, they have no plan for it to leave Los Angeles. It hasn't even been assigned a truck yet. So, it's going great, guys. It's going great.
Oh, man.
Not only that, but it looks like you also purchased like the greatest dad polo at Target too. Like,
Yeah,
we don't have clothes. We don't have clothes.
Yeah, no, I have like 3 pairs of socks. We have, what we could fit into a suitcase. We literally are eating meals on a blanket on the kitchen floor. We're gonna go out and buy like a folding table.
They're like,
Kids
look,
probably love it.
Kids are having a great time. Mom and dad are a little stressed out, but it's all right.
Is this Jeff? I said stop calling. You're lucky you got a truck.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
That's what it is. They literally were like, "Yeah, I have no information for you," which is hilarious because when they picked up the stuff, they're like, "Oh, it'll be there in 5 days. Don't even worry, Mr. Cannata.
Yeah.
Don't even worry."
Just get in your car and drive. Just go away.
Just drive.
This
That'll
is
be
why I
fine.
drove my buddy's stuff to Texas. This is
Yeah.
why we like got a van and drove to Texas. I'd also like to point out Ray looks a lot like he's scouting for Tennessee right now. Like he's on the plane. You know when like you see college coaches, they all get up on the plane, the same half zip. It's sick. That's what Ray looks like.
If his earphones just had the little like mic thing, I feel like he's getting plays from the booth. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we're gonna be okay this year. Thank you.
Yeah,
This move.
good stuff. Anyway, how are you guys? I missed last week. Evidently, Dees like gave his phone number to everybody. Is that my understanding?
Dude, it was awesome. All right, so here's how it went. You get like Dees being like, all right, it's right there. And I'm like, Dees, your number. He's like, it was on screen for like a solid 5 seconds. Like, it was
solid. Macuga called me the ginger ninja. And so somebody who was in chat was like, I'm updating your caller ID, sent me a picture of it. And I was like, look at this. They're lightning fast. And Josh is like, no.
We gotta work on Deez's OPSEC. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to be back. There's lots to talk about this week. We got lots of FCF news. We got some awesome guests to get to.
Yeah.
It's chock full. It's like we're ramping up, guys. I feel like we're ramping up.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming in hot.
Can't wait.
Every week we inch closer and closer to large scale news. It's it's like when Jeff's moving van shows up is when we're going to get our first bit of SPF.
Yeah, so that's not good. That's a long way off, ladies and gentlemen.
Even to the point to like today, we were talking about players. We're just going down the road. All of our guys are football. Gary Cruz, Andy Dolich, Marshawn, John Liotta, Coach Jinx, Dunkar.
Yes.
We're just going down the list of all the guys that we have to have back. We're like, yep. We went down every name, and everybody was yes, yep. Nope.
Macuga.
Macuga. Cannata.
Out.
Ray, I just got to get this question in here real quick. Freddie Airmail in chat says, Ray, got any McDonald's bags for the viewers? Did you get McDonald's sent to you too as well? Because I got McDonald's sent to me on Monday, and it was one of the greater days of my life.
What?
I even if I did, I don't know if I would eat it.
Wow.
Yeah, me neither, man.
I'm a Wendy's kind of guy, you know what I'm saying?
Square patties.
Boom! See how you threw that in there, threw it around.
Square patty. I see.
Wait, walk us through the McDonald's just showing up at your house.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Send product to commissioner.
So I got a Instagram message from McDonald's corporate. And they said, or their like social media account, and they said, "Hey, would you like McDonald's for your Bachelorette finale watch along?" And I was like, "Well, first of all, I don't really do a Bachelorette watch along, but I'll do one for McDonald's. I'll do just about anything." I didn't want to tell him.
You are a cheap date, Macuga.
Believe you me, the amount of times I've taken Amanda to McDonald's is like 8 too many for Amanda. So I was like, yeah. They're like, how many is your watch along? I was going to be like 50, but I went conservative and I said the normal number. There was only 6 of us, and they showed up with 60 McNuggets, 10 Big Macs, sodas, all the
What did everybody else eat?
Exactly. Fish fillets, McDoubles, McChickens. I mean, they went nuts with it, and McDonald's fueled our Bachelorette finale watch along, and it was the guy showed up at my doorstep with 2 giant bags of McDonald's. Like, oh, thank you. He's like, no, I have more. And he went back to his trunk and brought another 2 bags. And I was like, thank you. He's like, no, there's more. And he brought another 2 bags. So 6 total giant bags of McDonald's.
I have bad news for you, Josh. I think that McDonald's social media was trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I was literally on a set yesterday. I was playing a judge, and then when I was done, I was like hungry as hell because it was like 11 o'clock. So I decided to go. I was driving McDonald's and Little Caesars. I was like, man, McDonald's fries. I literally went and got Little Caesars because I thought about how much it made no sense. But yeah, so I had
a lose, man. That's a lose.
At 11:30 at night. It's a lose. My wife almost lied. I don't know how I woke up this morning. The heartburn alone. Shit.
Trey Way says breakfast baconator for the win. Yeah, the breakfast baconator. I love fast food. I love it.
I know we have a lot of actual stuff to get to, but I wouldn't forgive myself if I didn't ask how you're doing, Josh, now that the Jeopardy hosting position seems to have been filled.
Oh, yeah.
It's Mark Ellis kind of said it best when he told me, he's like, listen, you don't want to be the first person to follow Alex Trebek. Let those people fail, and then you come in and be like, Macuga is what we've been looking for this whole time.
I like it.
So the campaign never ends. I think it's weird that they hired the executive producer. I think it's very weird. And Mayim Bialik was fine as a guest host. She was not anywhere near as good as I thought a lot of them were.
So the black dude from Read Rainbow didn't get it?
No.
Travis Shamockery, man. Travis Shamockery.
I will say this. He was good. He wasn't my favorite. He was good. It's hard. It's hard in those shoes. I think that LeVar Burton, with all the pressure that was on him from everybody in the world wanting him to do it, you could tell that he was not super comfortable in the chair. But
what about Aaron? How did he do? How do you think he did?
Aaron wasn't bad. I think he and LeVar were like the same. They were the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I know you found my people when you guys use words like Aaron and Travis Shamockery. I just know it just does me good. You know what I mean?
Everybody's a nickname. If you're not a nickname, it's fucking.
This is the Dangerous Nights crew right here. right here.
This is
Damn right.
the
Slap
perfect
'em up.
segue. The perfect segue. You said my people. That brings us to our first topic, which is fan council.
Come on.
Talk about your people.
My God, Jeffrey, with the laser accuracy. Yeah, if you're watching this show,
Sorry.
this is for you. We are talking,
Yeah.
we hinted at about a long time ago, but we finally are getting close to sending out a link where you can sign up to be part of the fan council, the FCF fan council. And literally you are part of a small group that will help determine the future of this league. And I don't say that lightly, right? This is people that we're going to use in real-time feedback for product feedback, for marketing, for merch. And not only that, but you get paid to do it. So there's all kinds of benefits for it. There's a small cash component. You get free merch. You get discounted merch. There's some requirements. And when we get that link up, you can see it's a couple hours every week that we're going to need of your time, but you are part of our internal team. So keep an eye out for that link. And literally they're going to ask you a bunch of questions about what was your experience in first season. And we want a wide variety of people, right?
We're going to drop knowledge on you. The commission going to come in and drop knowledge, motions, advertising, ideas, innovation.
Look how excited he
Dees.
is.
Come on, Dees, go.
The idea here isn't just that fans are voting for stuff, that you're actually getting
part.
opinions from folks. You're getting actual ideas, and you're generating. These are people helping shape the future of the league, right?
Yeah. Imagine if I came.
Go ahead, Dees. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Imagine if I came to you with a couple of different layouts about what the actual game play calling could look like. Like, do you like this or do you like this? Is this more intuitive? Does this make more sense? And so it's not just voting, it's shaping actual digital product. There'll be some rules that we're going to talk a little bit about, but we need a focus group that we can hit in Slack in real time. Be like, hey, did you see this thing? Did you see this thing? Help us shape this league. Because obviously we're going to continue with all of these league-wide votes. That is core to our ethos. That's what we're all about. But we need a real nimble team of people who are passionate about it, that also aren't afraid, which I think is our fan base, by the way, not afraid to speak their minds, right? They can say, look, I'm doing this because I love it, and it needs to be better here. It needs to be better here. I like this. And so, these are examples of stuff that we'd be looking at, but you get rewarded for it. Like I said, free merch, discounted merch, there's a cash component. So a lot of things go into we appreciate your time and making us better.
Is any of that free merch, like, because councils usually have some sort of robe or like a official
cloth,
like
or wings or something, right?
Yeah, like a pin.
Yes.
It's kind of, you know what I mean? It's if like you get elected to a city council, you stand up and they like give you some sort of outfit. I'm guessing that is in the mix.
You know what? We're just making FCF capes, bro, because we're going to all be superheroes.
There you go.
Yeah,
FCF capes. We just sit at the round table.
Like a top hat.
Like familiar with the Stonecutters episode of The Simpsons?
I do. So, Dees, reiterate how people can do this. What am I waiting for? What link? Where do I find it? How do I do it?
Yeah, the next couple of days, there will be a link on social, and that will be sent. You'll click that link, and then it will ask you a bunch of questions. It's a big survey about, your things that you like, things that you're interested in, things that you appreciate. We're going to take those submissions, and then we're going to start putting together this fan council. So we're not going to take everybody. Obviously, space is limited, but get in there, make sure that you're heard. Talk a little bit about why you think you'd be a good fit, and we're going to start pulling the trigger on those. And it's going to evolve. So if you don't get in with this first batch, look, we're going to cycle people through. It's important that we have a real diversity of thought here. So even if you don't get in with this first round, keep an eye out. We'll figure out a way to get you rotated through.
I believe this idea was brought up to Roger Goodell as well, and the person that brought him up was promptly fired and pushed out of a building. I don't know if that's completely true, but from what I hear, Roger Goodell does not take well to suggestions, but I could be wrong.
What was so cool is like when we think about the Screaming Eagles back in 2014, 15, 16, 17, whatever. But we had what we call diversity front office, and we talked to our fans, and we had to make some serious decisions really quick. And we didn't know what to do. We were like, well, shit, let's involve the fans, and they really helped us get through some serious decisions. Like we had like a guy that we were going to bring on, and a coach that we needed to fire, and football ops and the founders. We were sitting there like, man, what the hell do we do? And then that's when the virtual front office came up, and we were like, holy shit, we have to bring back the fan council. It has to be there. It has to be a part of what we do. They got to be a part of the decisions that we make, and to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're talking the same language.
Genius.
And I feel like if you're watching the show, you're perfect for it, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're hanging out, you're anxious for news, you know, you're in the know. Please don't be bashful about it. Get on that fan council. And again, there is some required work. I know we've got Greg's waiting. We are going to ask you to earn that, right? Like, we're asking your opinions. You're going to be in a Slack channel. You're going to be taking surveys. But again, it's all for the betterment of making this league better. And I'm so excited to do it with you.
And this another FC to put in FCF, so it's FC, FCF.
Yeah, you're the FCFFC.
Yeah, FC, FCF.
CFC. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm making shirts tomorrow. Unbelievable.
FCF.
All right, we got our first guest of the day, our friend, the voice of FCF, back from Tokyo, where he was covering the Olympics. Greg Meskel, welcome him back to the show.
Hey. Oh, look at him! There's Olympic gear. Yeah.
I knew Macuga was gonna, start it on the Olympics, so I said, let me just get it out of the way. I'll put the jacket on, and we can just dive right in.
Yes.
Hey, G, let's do a virtual handshake like we doing the thing, you know.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, man.
Welcome back. How was your experience in Tokyo?
Oh man, it was interesting. I think, if you guys watched on TV or saw, it was unlike any other Olympics, right? No fans, no families, lots of protocols. So it was, I've been kind of comparing it to like being under house arrest, but at the Olympics. You could only go to certain places, but those places were where gold medals were being won. And then everything else was kind of off limits for the first two weeks or so. So very strange. You go to some high level events and it seems almost like a practice, but it's like, no, this is it. This is where they're going to actually figure out who's the best person in the world at gymnastics or judo or swimming. And so that was a little weird from other Olympics. But hats off to everyone that made that happen. That was not an easy event to pull together. And, by and large, it went off without a hitch. So pretty pleased that everything went well, and we're back and we're safe and healthy and all that stuff. So no complaints.
Did you have a sex-proof cardboard bed?
No, I was not in the Olympic Village. And so I was just in a regular hotel bed that I don't know its specifications, just a hotel bed.
Very capable of sex.
Yeah.
Greg, I was following along to, all your Instagram posts and Instagram stories, as you traverse Japan. Now, I want to talk about water polo in a second, but of all those outside events that you got to see, what were some of the highlights of the trip?
Yeah, one of the interesting things was because you couldn't really go anywhere else. You weren't supposed to go to restaurants or anything. I just kept going to other Olympic events because it was somewhere to be and to be around other people and that sort of thing. If you've heard of Japanese hotel rooms, they're pretty small, can be a little kind of claustrophobic. So it was nice just to go anywhere. So a couple of things that come to mind. I went to gymnastics a couple of nights. I'm sure you guys followed along. Simone Biles stepped away, then came back. In between, there was a chance for another gymnast, Jade Carey, to step in, and she ends up winning a gold medal, which was really cool. Swimming, Bobby Fink had this amazing breakaway at the end of his event, just kind of hit the turbo button and just blasted past everybody. That was pretty cool to see in person. And then judo is a huge deal in Japan, and I went to the Budokan, which is like one of the historic venues for judo. Also held some pretty amazing concerts like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, but they take judo there very seriously. It's one of the birthplaces of the sport, and so to see that and see Japan win was pretty cool. Just kind of knowing what that means. So those are just a couple of the highlights.
No, I have to tell you, man. After watching water polo, I then became a fan of all the water shit. So I watched the diving, but then I watched the synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, what the like to see them underwater and doing what they were doing was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
That's a whole other level. I mean, the coordination and like you said, they're pretty much walking on water, but upside down with their heads underwater. And then they're fully decked out in like legit face paint and matching uniforms. It's unreal.
Greg, one of my favorite things about you is the level of prep that you go through to to be part of any of this stuff? Like, what was that like learning the stories of these Olympians? Was there anything that really touched you as you, because I mean, just the sacrifice to get to that level, I'm curious to see what you thought and how did you go about preparing?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was focused primarily on the men's and women's water polo competitions, and so I've been lucky to kind of know those stories pretty well over the last several years. But I think you can't help but go to Olympics and not get immersed in everyone's story. That's kind of the fun of it is learning more about people. I feel like every Olympics you get exposed to somebody that you really had no idea what they were up to, and so you get a chance to kind of see and quickly figure out what they're all about and kind of learn their story a bit. So water polo, obviously, that was well covered. One thing I went to, I'd never been to equestrian before, right? So it's like all that sort of stuff. Bruce Springsteen's daughter was competing in that. So as a New Jersey native, like by law, we had to go see that. Jessica Springsteen was competing. And that was something, right, that like I had never seen, and to watch these athletes kind of have, you talk about teamwork, right? I mean, I almost might liken it to like the quarterback center relationship or something. Like they're just so in sync to know when they have to jump, when they don't, when they work together. So that was something I'd never kind of seen before, and to learn some of those stories. You could be an equestrian and be like 70 years old. There was people out there that were well past what would appear to be their prime in other sports, still going for gold. So that was pretty wild too.
I imagine she had a hard challenge with making her horse jump, because my understanding is that it was born to run.
Oh, Jeff! Pow, pow! Dangerous Nights crew. Sorry.
What just happened?
Jeff, you and just the calmness in which you executed that joke. Props for that. So
I mean, really well done. I was leaning on something Thunder Road a little bit, but I didn't go that way.
Hey, look, I'd have been in production meetings with Greg, and I'm always at the back of the classroom, and he's always in front. So by the time the game starts, I'm cheating off his test. But he would get so focused, and that's when like this smiley face Greg is a whole different dude. So it's just like, I had to understand, like, I'm on his field. It's different now,
we could tell, Ray. We could tell. Yeah.
Ray's next season, Ray, we have to like set up a camera that just watches what Ray's doing before a game starts. I have all the notes out and I'm getting ready. Ray's holding 3 meetings. He's texting someone. He's filming live on his phone Instagram, while also zooming out to someone else. There's like people talking back at him in chats. He's showing me some chat message. Like there's so much happening, and then he just kind of snaps into position and is ready to go when the ball's snapped.
Legend. Greg,
our booth is dope. I love it.
I get obsessed with the Olympics during the first, growing up as a swimmer. So it's and water polo and all that kind of stuff. So the water sports have always been my thing. But like this week it's almost like a come down, I go through withdrawals because I just turn on the Olympics in the morning and just played it through the day. Because the women obviously just trounced everybody. That Russia semifinal match was pretty tough. As you were watching along, did you see anything in them that thought, they might not win this time because they were heavy favorites?
Yeah, they lost to Hungary in group play, which I think kind of shocked everyone's system a bit. They just don't lose in big tournaments, so that was kind of surprising. But it's like so many sports, right? Where sometimes a loss is good in a way. I mean, if you have room to take a loss, it's not a terrible thing. Kind of refocus. It's very hard to be undefeated and be perfect going into kind of the ultimate championship. Think about the Patriots a few years ago, right? Or you see in other sports, right, where you have to be the pressure of not only winning the whole thing, but then also being perfect. And I think that's kind of a tough scenario. So it was almost like a little bit of taking a little bit of air out of the room in a good way. Like, okay, now we don't have to worry about never losing a game. We can kind of just go back to doing what we do. And then you saw the last two by the gold medal, they just smoked him. It wasn't even close.
No.
Jay, this is a good question because this was one of the rants that we had last week. So you saw gold medal winners, and then you also saw Felix, who has all the most medals ever. Would you rather win a gold medal at the Olympics or be known to win all the medals? What's your decision?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Wait, so it's either win one gold medal or just have won many medals of any kind?
The many medals, yes.
I mean, I think I would. Can in those many medals, is there a gold in there?
No gold. No gold.
No gold.
Over bronze.
You know what? I would say, just having looked at this a lot, for for what you'd have to talk about for the rest of your life, like give me the one gold, because even though you were there many, many times, and this is no knock, it is amazing to win any medal. It's amazing to be an Olympian, right? So
for sure. Oh,
but in this hypothetical, right? Because you will have to constantly talk about to people, why didn't you get it done, right? At that level. And it's a little bit more palatable in an individual sport, a team sport, swimming, track, where it's like, it's clean, right? I was first, I was second, I was third. It is a brutal conversation. I always joke with, and maybe they don't like joking, but it becomes a joke with silver medalists in team sports. If you ever meet one and you're friendly enough with them, ask them, how long did it take before you became comfortable with being a silver medalist? And that's a therapy session right there. You're on the couch for 2 hours.
I read a report recently right around the Olympics that said that there was a big study that the happiness level of bronze medal winners is higher than silver medal winners.
I believe that.
Because
there's no doubt.
Silver medal winner is comparing themselves to gold, while bronze is comparing themselves to the rest of the field.
Everybody else.
Well, look at it this way, right? In a team sport, right? You win the gold, you lose the gold, and you win the bronze, right? And so when you lose the gold, you get the silver. And so you look at any podium, and by and large, gold medalists happy, silver medalists dejected, bronze medalists thrilled, right? Because they came back after a tough semifinal loss, and then they won that bronze medal match. So it puts those team sport athletes in this brutal scenario. And most of these athletes, it takes them some time. It's like not even by the time they get home before they're in a place of feeling okay, because you did win a medal. That's a huge deal. But you were this close to a gold medal.
So you just confirmed that Grant sucks.
I don't know the reference, but if you say so,
you're fine. Greg, what with the men's water polo, and I kept asking my buddies and everything, why is Hungary so good at water polo? Like, they year in and year out, they just are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the same question, right? Like, why is the U.S. good at basketball? Think of countries where sports are dominant, right? Baseball is our pastime, right? But basketball, tackle football, these are huge things in the U.S. When you go to places like Hungary, former Yugoslavia, right? Serbia, Croatia, Montenegro, water polo is introduced at a very young age. It's as common as kitty kick soccer or t-ball in the U.S. And so you have it from a foundational level working up. It's like a normal thing to be playing there. It's expected you'll have some experience with it. And so that's why you get such talented athletes, as opposed to in the U.S., it's like down the list of things that you would do if you're a really good athlete.
Yeah, but you think about baseball. Baseball is an American sport, and the Chinese won that joint.
Yeah, the U.S. was right there. They lost. They lost the gold medal, right? I believe it was Japan, right? Wins gold. But now in that case, baseball didn't send pros, so they sent. It was either minor league baseball players or pros who were not signed to a team. So it was different than the NBA situation, right? I'd be curious to see what happened if they sent pros.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
But still, right? Even with that, a silver, for kind of the team that's not necessarily what could be our highest level team.
It makes me a little bit sad that our kids aren't introduced to water polo. And I mean, I remember there being a water polo team in my high school, but I don't remember, any younger than that, even having the option to play water polo.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
I feel like water polo is kind of one of those geographic sports, Greg. I mean, you might be able to disagree with me, but in Pennsylvania, I swam, but we didn't really have a water polo. But then, like, out here, every school had a water polo program. In LA is where I'm talking about. Like
right. I mean, if you're watching this and you're not in California or a few other states, you're like, what are you guys talking about right now? Like, change the topic, right? Because it's like so foreign to a lot of people. I mean, even in PA, there's more water polo there than in many, many other states.
Yeah.
I would love outside of Philly.
And I would love to see more brothers and sisters get involved in water polo and swimming and synchronize. I probably watch this stuff more. I'm just being real. If you think about it, you watch a lot of the same sports, thinking of like certain athletes. I'm like, man, if I watch gymnasts now because of Simone Biles. I mean, I would probably watch. I watch water polo because of my boy G. But I'm saying if there was like a black diver, I'd be like, oh shit, Keish.
No, you're exactly like representation matters. You talk about it all the time, right? And you see it on the women's water polo team. Ashley Johnson, first African American to make a U.S. Olympic women's water polo team. Just her presence, and we've done a lot of interviews with her over the years, right? She doesn't have to do anything more than just exist and do it at a high level, and that sets this great example. Everyone needs to be able to see someone that looks like them to know that they could, from a young age, understand that they could do that thing that they want to do. So it's huge to have people that you can relate to, especially as a kid. So then it opens up a door, right? Because maybe as a kid, you would have looked at diving and thought like,
you know what I'm saying?
Ray Austin out there, I can't be a diver.
There may not have been a number 28 on the football field, but I could have been. Boom!
Double pike! Woo!
Yeah.
Simone Manuel, 2016 was the most dominant swimmer on the U.S. team, and it's unfortunate she had, those hiccups before 2021 with like overtraining syndrome and everything. Because had the Olympics been last year, I think Simone Manuel may have won gold again in both 50 and 100.
There's a lot of what ifs. If the Olympics were a year ago, people that stepped away, there's people that were able to kind of rehab and train and get back. So it's so weird. And now you have the next Olympics are only 3 years away for the summer. So now you have people that maybe would have retired are going to say, hey, can I just push through for 3 more years? Because also if that was your first or your last Olympics, you might want to do it again if you can with your family and friends there, with people that cheer you on, right? It's a very different experience.
Totally.
I didn't know.
Man, it's
even with the 3 years. Wow.
Yeah.
It's so cool that you had that experience. I mean, I think that that water polo, it's amazing to me the sports that I get into during the Olympics and then I don't watch, like volleyball too is so much fun to watch.
Our women's volleyball team was awesome.
Yeah. Why aren't I watching women's volleyball all the time? It's thrilling.
Yeah.
Same thing with water polo. But anyway, it's awesome to see the Olympics back, and even in its altered form, it was really cool. And you did such a great job, Greg. Thank you for being with us and sharing some of your insight into that experience. And can't wait to have you back for season 2 of FCF.
Well, guys, just, a parting thought on that, right, is you talk about exposing people to a sport, and we're doing the same thing here with the FCF, right? You might not know you love it until you see it, right? And the same thing happens with the Olympics. You see it, and then you realize you enjoy it. And now with the FCF, people saw season 1, they realized they liked it. We're going to show more of it to them in season 2. They're going to love it some more, and that's how you build a strong fan base. And so we're excited, very excited for season 2.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
As Patrick Dees once famously said, a plateau is a geographic anomaly, Greg.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming through, buddy.
Good to see you.
See you, Greg.
I know him. That's my cousin. That's my first cousin.
Love that guy.
He's the
My
best.
guy,
Man.
dude.
He's the best.
Awesome.
I thought you were going to say, as Patrick Dees once said, here's my phone number. All right, we got back-to-back guests. This is an incredibly jam-packed episode. It's incredible. So let's, without any further hesitation, let's get to our second guest. Jose Ruckus is backstage from the Ace is Wild podcast. Welcome,
Look at
Jose.
him. Look
What's
at him.
up, guys?
Throw that W up, big dog.
What's going on, man? Welcome.
Man, I'm happy to be on the show finally.
Yeah.
You know what?
Wow,
I'm-
he does it
I'm-
finally in there.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say this.
Okay.
My wife always says she always looks. She's a big look at people's backgrounds and their what's on their background. And she always says, "Look at all the books that person has." I know those aren't books. Those are magazines, aren't
Those are DVDs.
There's some comic books, some blue
comic books? There you go.
All right.
These are books over here. I read
Look
these.
like books. Look like books.
I got this is an inflatable mattress that is all
I thought
serving
that
as my
was a
bed right now.
Curtain. Oh, man. That's hilarious. And Andy's got that Wild Aces championship poster that looks like the Steelers 1995 AFC championship poster.
Oh,
I dig
that's
it.
dope.
This
I
thing
see that.
This thing is
Yeah.
beautiful. Campfire Designs did an amazing job with that.
Wow.
So
Dude,
talented.
that's awesome. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So Jose,
We need more of that.
for folks that may not be familiar with your podcast, tell us how it started, why you fell in love with the Wild Aces, and your story of season 1.
So I'm a kind of funny fan from like way back in the day. I've been with them pretty much the entire time. And so when they brought up the idea of the FCF the first time they announced it and stuff, I was like, that sounds pretty cool. That's something I'll probably be into. And then it disappeared for like a long time. And I
2
totally
years.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
I
long?
remember every one of those 24 months. Yes. Yes.
I
years.
totally forgot about it. And then they
Yeah.
started doing some podcasts and stuff like right when it was ramping up, and they sounded really excited about it. And that got me really, really excited about it. And I went and looked, and nobody was making content for it at the time. So I was like, might as well be like one of the first people on the boat here.
Hell
And
yeah.
Yeah.
doing
That's
the
cool.
podcast.
That's what's up.
And it's been going really well.
First Player Token chimes in the chat, says next season that poster will be a Zappers one. That's a big hill. That's a big hill. Okay, that's
I like the confidence though. That's nice.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What? Listen, you
out
can
of
make
all,
all the
out of all
artwork.
of our founders, Patrick is the most calm with the team, and we know why, because he won.
Yes.
So
Some
it's
confidence. That's what I'm saying.
he's all
yeah,
cool. He's the coolest out of all of us. We all talk shit, but he's the only one like.
It comes with that confidence. So what? So walk us through that journey when they were putting together the branding. I remember when it was such an exciting time in the Kind of Funny community when they all wanted to be milk mommies. Like, was that your vote? How did you like how it all came together? I'm curious to see what you thought.
That was not my vote at all. I was very much I was on the boat of guys like people are going like serious athletes are going to have to wear these uniforms. So please don't like ruin these guys' NFL potential with the milk mommies. But yeah, I loved seeing all the branding come together. I mean, the color, I love the colors, the logo, it's all perfect.
Yeah. Freddie Airmail chimes in, says more like next season he'll be wearing a zipper hoodie that says back to back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boom. I like the smack in here.
I will say a fun fact about the milk mommies suggestion. I think, and Annalise can keep me honest here, but I think there were like 19 different variations of milk mommies with a Z, and it was like like literally any way you could possibly spell milk mommies, we got it. And so I'm also
MYLK.
Yeah.
So when I was up there for a live stream, Jose Dees, and I had a few cocktails, and I like got Greg aside, and I was like, listen, it cannot be called the milk mommies. It can't. Like, you guys can make all the jokes you want. I know that's your thing here, but it can't be called the milk mommies. Like, Macuga, it's going to be called the milk mommies. I was like, if it's called the milk mommies, I'm out. And he's like, well, what are you doing for it? And I was like, nothing yet, but I'm going to be here. No milk mommies. Like, so I get where you're coming from, Jose. I appreciate you.
Banana Leche in the chat can confirm over 30 variations with about 2,500 submissions for milk mommies. It was a passion in that community around that name.
Unbelievable.
You better be careful, because milk mommies might be a name of one of the next teams. So
the thing that I liked about it was like also like with our proof of concept team, we were almost named the Stormin' Mormons. And what I like about that ridiculous name is it's truly proves that this is all fan driven, because nobody in their right mind would be like, yeah, we're proudly the milk mommies, and we had our finger on that scale. You know what I mean? So I was looking at silver linings.
It's better than like the Killing Catholics or something. I'm just but Stormin' Mormons actually, like Jose's like, what did he just say? Yeah.
So Jose, tell us about what you're hoping for season 2, other than a repeat championship. I'm assuming you're sticking with the Wild Aces for the duration, but it's going to be an expanded roster of teams, more players. What are you hoping for season 2?
What I'm hoping for is more guys like we had last year who are super into talking to the fans, being super active on social media, coming on podcasts that a lot of us host and stuff. Like, we had a lot of great guys for that in season 1, and with more teams and stuff, I just hope it's more people like that in the future.
that's great. That's awesome.
Good, man.
That's all. Just to say, to reiterate what you just said, I just talked to Andrew Jamil just 2 hours ago, and he was like, "Man, I cannot wait to start talking to the fans again." He was like, "Man, I'm training, I'm getting ready." He said, "Me and Destroying gonna meet up at Arizona." I was like, "That's my man." So
Grit Factory.
That's great.
Jose, I don't know if anybody's told this, but you should host like a true crime podcast too, because you've got the perfect podcast voice. You have like that very like it's perfect.
Yeah,
like it's calculated. It's well said. Your parents must be very proud of you. I'm just saying. That's fantastic.
They seem to be. Yeah.
And then
You're like, yeah. Was this your first podcast?
Murdered her. Go ahead.
Was this your first podcast? Had you been doing other like content around other things, or was this the first time you said, "Look, I'm creating content and it's around this"?
I had tried a couple different podcast ideas and stuff, but they were all just like whatever you do, like hang out with your friends and talk about movies or whatever, just like weird random stuff that popped up throughout the years. This was the first thing where it was like I had a full idea for like what it was going to be, branding and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's
cool.
great. I mean, I think it's a lesson. People ask me often, as somebody who's been podcasting for 15 years, ideas about making a podcast. And filling a niche is a great way to do it. Find something that you're passionate about, but that also there isn't 400 of already. And I think that's a great lesson to be learned. I think you were right there at the right time, which is also really useful. And you found a great community to rally around. And kudos to you for being, thinking that through. I think that's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jose, let me ask you this. Great. What's that? Sorry.
Oh, the community's been super great. Like immediately, like everybody was just like, yes, stuff to do.
Right.
Jose, I've been asking a lot of fans this. What can we be doing as a league to better support you as a content creator? If you had more access to, I don't name it. Like what can we do to make your content better?
Videos, photos.
Honestly, I think what would be really cool to see in the future is sort of like not like mandatory media stuff, because obviously we've seen with a lot of with like Naomi Osaka and stuff that like mandatory media stuff really sucks. But like designated things after a game where if a player wants to talk, the player just had a big game and they want to go and talk to some people immediately afterwards, like having a facilitated time for that would be really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
live stream
done.
I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show that you get to decide what this show is called next week. So if throw up ideas for titles of our show in the chat, we will have a vote at the end of the show with some favorites, and you get to pick what we're called. Sorry, I forgot to mention that at the top of the show, but throw those names in chat. Anything that you think our show should be called next week.
Strong one already from First Player Token with Showy McShowface. I feel like that's strong.
How have we not been called that yet? We haven't been called that yet.
Jeff, before we get to trivia, you want to hit some of the things we need to tell people about before I get into trivia? Because trivia could go. Yeah.
Absolutely. We do have actual stuff to cover, actual announcements, FCF info, combine info. Nothing to share yet, but it's coming soon, and players can check out player.fcf.io. If you are watching and you want to get a chance to go to a combine, or somebody, point them to player.fcf.io. Ray, the combines are going to be in a big way this year again, right? We don't have any specific info, but they're happening.
They're happening. Number one, we're going to hit a lot more cities than we did last time, and people got to remember that when we do these tryouts, we don't do them for money. We don't even charge. We just want you there. We're trying to give everybody an opportunity. But then when guys get there, they have to understand that hey, we're the FCF. This is a different league, so we want you to come ready to not only show your talent, but to show who you are, because the fans are the number one. Our number one obligation. We want to make sure the fans know. I'm just the eyes. Sean Liotta, Coach Jinx, myself, Donko Hardy. We're just the eyes for the fans. We're trying to do our best to get the right players in the league. And once we do that, the fans get to pick who those guys are. But the reason they pick those guys are exactly what he said was he's looking for those guys that want to be gamers, or guys that want to engage with the audience and create content. Like I'm looking for more than just somebody that can pass a ball, score touchdowns, because this league will last longer for guys that we have that are like that. So I can't wait. I'm super excited. Like I'm sitting in the reins like a horse ready to to hear that buzzer, and when it's time for the combines, we're all out and we're all getting the best players for this league, and I'm super excited about it. So
that's awesome.
And we proved it last season. Kind of our hypothesis was a different kind of cat was going to be successful in this league, right? Like the people who are willing and excited to interact with fans and to create content and engage, that consequently they're drafted more frequently. We saw that over and over again, and their numbers called more often, right? So be ready to talk about your backstory and your journey and all those things.
What fan and what team is going to have the next NFL drafter? Like, who's going to be the next guy that everybody puts their finger on? Is that going to be the Andrew Jamils or the Jurdies or the Ladarius Galloways? Like, who's going to find that guy? That's what I'm looking for. I get emails all day long. Like, I know the other guys get emails of other stuff. I get emails from players, agents, players that are like telling me their story. I look through all that stuff, and then we all share it. And then I'll get something from Patrick, and Patrick will be like, "Hey, this guy, a friend of mine sent this guy to me. Check him out, right?" I'll check him out, and we do that because we're trying to find the right guys. It's not like, oh, he can't play. It's like, no, can he play? He plays first, boom. Now let's look at his personality or his character. Let's check out his social media. Let's see what he's doing. Let's see if he's being progressive, motivated, inspired, whatever it is, man. We want to latch to athletes that are willing to go out there and show people who they are. So.
And if you want to latch to the athletes that were in season 1, good news, the trading cards are shipping soon. They're shipping August 18th through 20th. So you should be able to get the trading cards before I get my furniture for my house. Which is just really great for you. So stay tuned for those trading cards shipping August 18th through 20th. Also, fantastic new episodes of both Road to FCF and Owned and Operated are now online. Definitely do not miss those. FCF.io. You can find them there.
Also,
real talk. I'll just say real quick on that. Real talk. Watch those guys because you'll really get to see you'll get to see the culture of what we're trying to create. Like you guys see the show, but if you guys were in the meeting is just like this show. So every meeting that we have is just like this show. So watch those shows.
Anything gets done at all at this company.
You're right. You really get to know that we're having fun doing this, and we want to do this with people that want to have fun with us. So watch those shows, and you'll get to see the players too. Like you'll really get to see. We got some really cool stuff coming out with all the players, but watch those shows so you can really get to know these guys, man. It's real cool stuff.
So First Player Tokens might have the better show name suggestion. Show name: Release Jeff's Stuff.
Yes.
Release Jeff's stuff. Please. Let me sleep on a bed. Okay, all right. Let's do some trivia. It's time for the graphic. That graphic got a big upgrade this week.
Boom,
Jacob.
That
huge upgrade.
Thick.
That's
Okay.
so good.
Well done, Jacob.
As we all know, this is how fan control trivia works. I have actually thrown a little wrench into the system this week. The first player to 3 wins. Now, if we are tied at 2, we have to a win by 2 situation. And I've thrown in some Josh Birdie style questions.
Yes.
Okay.
We may be here into extra innings well into the evening.
Oh, no. Josh Birdie is very quick.
Okay.
So we will start with our guest, the one and only Jose. Don't fear the Ruckus, the host of the Wild Aces podcast, and he will be playing the one and only no house, no furniture, but a house Cannata. 2 N's, 1 T. Jose, you have 1 lifeline. You can choose either Ray or Dees. Jeff, you as well. But once you've chosen, you can no longer use that lifeline. We start with you, Jose. Question 1. Which of the following movies about baseball is the highest grossing? Is it A League of Their Own, 42, Moneyball, or Major League?
Ooh, tough one.
I'm going to go with 42.
That is incorrect. Jeffrey, no furniture, Cannata for the steal.
Moneyball.
Moneyball is also incorrect. We were looking for it is A League of Their Own.
Oh, wow.
I went with Moneyball. I went with Moneyball on that one.
This used to be my playground. This used to be my childhood dream.
Never
Madonna.
doubt Rosie O'Donnell.
Correct.
There's no crying in baseball.
Dottie Henson could catch a ball with her bare hand, and that made her the best player in the league. Okay. We go to Jeffrey Cannata. Hates the air mattress, but he might like this question. Jeffrey, which of these is not one of the 4 ghosts in Pac-Man? Is it Blinky, Tinky, Pinky, or Inky?
The answer is number 2, Tinky.
Tinky is correct. Give Jeffrey the points. Give Jeffrey the points.
The fact that they were actual names, I didn't even know.
I mean, a little unfair that I was alive when Pac-Man came out and our guest was not. But
yeah, but he does have a gaming chair, so he may have played Pac-Man before. All right, next question in fan-controlled trivia goes to Jose. Jose, which is the top-selling gaming console of all time? Is it Nintendo Game Boy, which I still own, PlayStation, Nintendo Wii, or PlayStation 2?
Is the PlayStation 2.
That is
Boom.
correct. Give him the points, Jose.
Well
Bring
done.
the ruckus. Okay,
150.
How did you know that? Like,
he's a genius.
Greg Miller has talked about it many times.
There you go. 155 million units sold. That shit is bananas. Bananas. Okay, Jeffrey Cannata, we go back to you. How many Super Bowls have the Pittsburgh Steelers appeared in? Is it 8? Is it 6? Is it 7? Or is it 9?
I'm going with 6.
6 is incorrect. Jose for the steal.
I am gonna go with 7.
Oh, they are both incorrect.
Oh,
We are looking for 8. They've appeared in 8
Wow,
and won
8.
6. 8
Wow.
Super Bowls
oh,
and
that was 1-6. Oh, okay.
1-6.
I was-
Sixburg, as they call it, soon to be Sevenburg. Okay, back
Soon is
to
a relative.
2028.
here we go. Back to Jose. Jose, which child from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was the first to find the golden ticket? Was it Augustus Gloop? Was it Veruca Salt? Was it Violet Beauregard? Or was it Mike TV?
I think it was Augustus Gloop.
Augustus Gloop was the first one to find the ticket. He also
Oh.
ate the interviewer's microphone. It was a heck of a scene there in Von Dusselheim, Germany. As the score is currently Jose 2, Jeff 1.
Where's a
Jeff,
game point? I need this one. I need
Your
this one
question.
bad.
Your
Yeah.
question. What is the name for a baby puffin? Is it Puff, Puffling, Fin, or Youngling?
You're gonna give me on a
What?
Pokemon question?
Apparently it's-
Pokemon.
Apparently, it's the bird, the puffin, the bird.
All right. I have no idea, but there is a tiny chance that Patrick Dees will have played Pokemon.
oh.
So I'm going to use my lifeline to Patrick Dees. Save me. Save me. Please tell me you play Pokemon.
I am not a Pokemon player. We know it's not young.
You're lying. He's lying.
No,
He's
I don't
never
know.
let anybody know, but go ahead.
But we know it's not youngling, right? Like we could just eliminate that right off the top.
Mhm.
Yeah. What are the options again, please?
Puff, Puffling, Fin, or Youngling.
I'm gonna go Puffling, I guess.
Jeffrey Cannata says Puffling, and Jeffrey Cannata would be correct. Give him the points. 2-2. 2-2.
When
Now
I needed it most.
we
Yeah.
needed it most.
So clutch.
Here we go. We're going to go into the Josh Purdy round of the trivia, and I'm calling this category Ray It Ain't So. Ray It Ain't So. Okay. These direct from Ray Austin's IMDb profile. These are either episodes of Empire he's been on or episodes of Empire I made up. Okay. We start with Jose, and we will go 5 straight questions for Jose, and then we will go 5 straight questions for Jeff. Here we go. Jacob, keep up with the points here as we're tied 2-2. Jose, I am who I am.
Episode he's been on.
That is correct. Give him the points. So Long Soldier.
Episode you made up.
That is correct. Give him the points. The State of Mind.
Episode he's been on.
That is incorrect. That is
Oh.
incorrect.
I
Incorrect.
want you to ask Ray these. Does he know?
Yeah, no chance. No
Oh.
chance.
Jose,
I know both of them.
dampening the sound.
You made it up.
That is correct. Give him the points. And finally, the unkindest cut.
You made it up.
No, he was on that episode. Jose gets 3 points in
good.
there. He gets
Good
3
job.
points in there. Jose 5, Jeff 2. Jeff, you need 3 to tie, 4 to win. Here we go.
Let's go, Jeffrey.
What we may be.
I'm gonna say that is an episode he's on.
That is an episode he's on. Give him the
Okay,
points.
nicely done.
Jeff, she can't go for that.
That's an episode you made up
Yeah,
for
no
Yep,
sure.
yep.
My bad. My bad.
Because
my bad.
it is a Hall and Oates lyric, and I don't think that empire would have used that.
I can't go for that. Okay, Jeffrey. Cupid kills.
Ooh, I also think you made that up.
Oh, he was on that episode. He was on that episode.
I thought for sure you made that up.
Jeffrey.
That was a hard one. That was a hard one. That was a hard one, bro.
Humor comes at a cost.
Humor comes at a cost. That's one you made up.
Damn it. Yep, it is. All right.
Okay.
And finally, for the win, the glass half full.
God, that really could go either way.
Oh, either way.
I'm going. He was on it.
No, it's made up. It's made up. We stayed tied. We stayed tied. Okay. We stay in the Josh Brady zone. All right. Now, as we know in Josh Brady, some of the trivia questions are actual trivia, and some of the trivia are based on my opinion. Unfortunately, these are not my opinion. These are the opinions of one Patrick Anthony Allen Sylvester Dees. Now, I have written Dees catchphrases. Now we're gonna do sudden death overtime. I'm gonna say the catchphrase, and Dees is gonna either say so Jose will say, I think Dees would like that, and Dees either has to say yes or no. Doesn't say anything, just gives the Joaquin Phoenix thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, here we go. And we're going to do sudden death overtime style. So, Jose, I ask you a question. If you get it wrong and Jeff gets it wrong, we go to the next one. If you get it right and Jeff gets it right, we move on. But vice versa, like a spelling bee. Okay. Here we go. It's a flat iron steak, medium rare, Greg.
He likes that.
Oh, no, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. All right, Jeffrey.
I'm sorry.
Jeffrey, here we go.
I think you should make him vote before he hears the answer.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
I agree. Should I?
Okay.
Because now
I
you
should
should just play favorites.
Yeah, I know. Because I feel so. I should be off screen.
Yeah, off screen and just move your hand in.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Off screen, hand in. Here we go. Right. Jeffrey Cannata.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate a phone call first, Greg.
He's not gonna like that.
We go on. It's still tied. 5-5. It's still tied. Here we go. All right. Next for Jose. MC Hammer was an underrated genius, Greg.
No, he doesn't like that.
It's a hard game.
It's a hard game. All right. Jeffrey. Yeah. Hardy, har.
No, he doesn't like that one.
He loves it. We're still tied. Okay, here we go. Back to Jose. Someone call Sega because I just witnessed the Genesis.
Oh.
He likes that. He likes that for sure.
Yeah, he likes it. Give him the point.
Well
okay,
done.
Jeffrey for the tie. Can he tie it up?
I thought it was tied up. Okay.
French fries is the only acceptable side dish, Greg.
He likes it.
Jose for the win. Give him the win. Give him the belt. The White House's belt. Give it to him.
Unbelievable.
Jose, let the people know how it feels. What a graphic for Jose. Jose wins.
Well, Jose, I got to tip your hat. That was a well-fought battle.
That was a tough one.
Came down to an entirely subjective nonsense.
Exactly. As is such. What a time. Jose, thanks for joining us, dude. Keep crushing on the podcast. We are big fans of yours.
Yes.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
And listen, Jose, where can people find you? Where can people find the podcast? Where can people find you online?
You can find the podcast on all podcast services. Just look up Ace is Wild. You can find me on Twitter at Ace is Wild Pod to keep up with a bunch of different stuff that I'm doing.
Love it.
Congrats.
Jose, you on IG, bro?
Here.
Keep bringing the ruckus.
You on IG, bro?
Yes, I am. Ace is Wild Pod on there too.
Ace is Wild Pod.
Love it.
Fantastic.
You're the best. Jose Ruckus. What a legend. What a
Top
battle.
10 all-time episodes, fellas. This one was great. Do we have a contenders for what we will be called next week? We can do a quick poll, wrap this puppy up. That has been an awesome episode. I will reiterate the info you need to know, which is player.fcf.io. If you or someone you know wants to be involved in the combine, have a chance to get in the game, get on the field for FCF, that's where you will find that info. It will be
Jeff,
coming
just
soon.
want to make sure that's not players at. That's player dot. Just want to make sure.
Player.fcf.io is what I'm told. Did I get that wrong?
Yep.
Just want to make sure.
Okay.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Yep. Looks good. Also, the trading cards, August 18th through the 20th, and new episodes of both Road to FCF and Owned and Operated available on the YouTube. Check it out.
Keep your eyes peeled for fan council info. We're recruiting very, very soon in the next couple of days. So keep your eye out. Get in there. Be part of what we're doing.
All right.
I can't wait. Is there going to be like the commissioner? You know how like a city council has the commissioner, like the commissioner kind of talks to the fan council. There's like some fan council I love the idea of like a big courtroom. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
It's gonna be so much fun.
we had calls at like 10 o'clock, and I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's been there. It'll be great though. It'll be great.
My mom sent me a picture of like my closet as they're cleaning up my closet. My mom's like, "Do you want me to send your high school graduation robe?" I was like, "I do." And, yep, I'm gonna need that. Yeah, and now I know what I need it for.
It looks like I missed the poll. I'm sorry. I had that window closed, but it looks like the poll is over, and we are going to be called Canada's Gold.
Canada's Gold,
which I'm not even sure what that. Oh, Canada's Gold, but referencing the Olympics and Canada's big gold medal win.
Got it.
And what sport was that they won the gold in? It was a big upset.
Women's soccer.
Women's soccer. That's right. It was fantastic. So thank you for voting. We will be called Canada's Gold, which kind of sounds like a beer to me.
No, and I think they won the 4x1 too, and they beat, and the Olympics didn't even, or the US didn't even. Yeah, I think they won the 4x1.
Make the final.
We didn't make the final.
BC Lion says 1,260 channel points well spent.
Well done. That's one way to do it.
Decathlon, women's soccer, boom.
We will be back next week here at twitch.tv/FCF talking about fan controlled football, talking about silliness and fun. I hope you join us. See you then. That'll be 3 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, power to the fans.
Power to the fans.
Power to the fans.